Planning a fishing trip shouldn't feel like a full-time job. With fishingbooker.com, you can find and book the perfect fishing trip within minutes. Fishingbooker.com connects you with trusted fishing captains around the world. Booking is fast, easy, and secure, with access to verified customer reviews, loyalty rewards, and around-the-clock customer support. Everything you need to book with confidence is in one place. So head to fishingbooker.com and start planning your next fishing adventure today.
Choice Hotels get you more of what you value. Here's a little tune to help you remember. Same drive, different day. Don't you wish you were getting away? Pack your bags and come on through. Texas, Ohio, Alaska, we're up there too. Comfort Inn, it's calling your name. Save on the stay. Oh, and free waffles are yours to claim. Well, I hope you like my little song. Book direct at choicehotels.com.
All right, welcome back to the Survival and Basic Badass Podcast with Kevin and Chuck. Today, we're going to talk about 9 Meals to Anarchy. Goes way back. I mean, actually, I found a quote. There's like a bunch of people credited with coming up with this. Mm-hmm. The oldest one I found says 1906. Alfred Henry Lewis says there are only 9 meals between mankind and anarchy. But I've seen a bunch of some politician in England dropped it in about 2000. It was a big thing.
Yeah.
Whatever. Bottom line is this. There's something with the food industry and basically our whole supply chain called just-in-time delivery.
Right.
And what that is the average grocery store, the average anything, gas station, whatever, roughly, I mean, it's basically based on grocery stores. But basically, the bottom line is they have about 3 days worth of food, and that's it. But that's assuming things are going normal.
Right.
So if the trucks stop coming and the news doesn't say anything about the trucks not coming, and there's no storm coming and everything seems happy, and you keep going to the grocery store, there's about 3 days worth of food. Now, then you say, oh, there's a huge snowstorm coming. All the trucks are stopped across the country. Now that 3 days of food, that's going to go in like 2 hours.
Yeah. Yeah, there's going to be about 6 people. I just made up the
2 hours.
There's going to be about 6 people that have all the food.
Everybody in front of you in their cart, it's going to be like 3 carts worth pushing, going, come on, honey, with the diapers falling out and beer bottles breaking, and that's how it's going to play out.
There seems to be a strange obsession lately with paper towels. Every time I see, and you fill up a whole cart with these containers, and I'll see people walking down the street carrying one grocery bag with mustard and a can of beans, and then a 24-pack of paper towels on his shoulder. What are you doing with these things?
All I know is when I go to Sam's Club and I buy those, they have like the 6 gallons of Poland Spring or whatever in the big cardboard container. Whenever I go and they don't have any, and that happens, I'd say once every other month, they'll have no water whatsoever except for like the individual bottles. And I'll go in and they won't have any, and I'll be like, oh shit, this is the big one. This is it. It's happened. I'm calling the wife on the phone. Now, go to the store. And then, I come back tomorrow and they're all there, and they just didn't put out the pallet. It was okay. But, hey, it's a fine line between.
That's right, man. And it is a fine line because, we're talking about 3 meals or 9 meals from anarchy. Is it 9 meals that you have in your cupboard? Or is it after not missing 9 meals, then you're ready to shoot a motherfucker that's got a loaf of bread?
I think the gist, you actually use this term a lot, and it's funny because being as that we're the big prepper survival guys, I don't even have cable, but so I haven't watched a lot of these, what's the show? The Prepper?
Yeah, I haven't seen that either.
Whatever.
Yeah.
I've seen
Preppers.
Doomsday Preppers, sorry.
That's the one you're thinking of, right?
Yeah. I know you guys are all yelling at me going, what the hell? You should know about this. But I think that's really, at least in America, where that phrase became popular, where people would have heard it and, where it kind of started to gain traction. And I actually, when I decided to do this show topic, I actually tried to find some episodes, and there were even, I typed in Doomsday Preppers and 9 Meals from Anarchy, and it took me on a bunch of nonsense where they didn't even mention it and whatever, and I just was pissed off and whatever. But that's neither here nor there. The idea is, it's supposed to, I think the gist of what people are going for with that is that basically when something goes wrong, anything goes wrong. So the power goes out, obviously if the power goes out and the stores never open up, well, then that's trouble. Another story. Obviously things get crazy right away. But people typically have about 3 days worth of food planned. When you go to the store, you buy a loaf of bread, a gallon of milk, all these things. These things should last you 3 days. Right. You might be at the point where, I needed to get milk and now I'm out today and today's the day that the world ends. Right. Well, yeah, you'll be out of milk sooner and whatever. But for the most part, people have 3 days worth of food. But you'd be surprised. People buy potatoes, onions, things to last a week or less. They don't buy because you want things fresh. You want them nice. Mm-hmm. And even if you stockpile in your freezer, if the power goes out or the grid goes down, that could be a problem pretty quickly. Yeah. Not everybody has backup generators. Not everybody's a prepper. You buy, most people buy the cereal they're going to eat that week. Right. I need another box of cereal for this week. I need yogurt for the week. I need, the milk, the bread, the eggs. All those things are very short-lived. Not a lot of people live the way like I do. I don't know. I don't, it's hard to even see the reality, but I know, well, one, I have chickens, so there's going to be eggs there, assuming it's not freezing. Right. But if I turn on a light out there, I bet within a week I can get some eggs. But even so, I can go downstairs and start cracking things open. I'm going to be good. Even in my regular pantry, I have enough that, it's going to last. I probably have upstairs in my kitchen without going to my food storage. And I'm not even talking long-term food storage, just my secondary storage area. Just out of my kitchen, I bet you I could feed my family for probably a full week. Then, assuming I go downstairs to my supplies without bags of rice, without big bags of beans, without the long-term food storage, I still probably would buy another week and a half, 2 weeks. So I'm probably good 3 weeks just off, regular day-to-day consumption kind of foods. Right. Because I'm kind of weird like that. Then I have additional stores that are, even more advanced. But a lot of people, 9 meals, all of a sudden their babies are hungry and crying. Right. Mom, we don't have cereal. We don't have anything. And that's where it's coming from, is that's when people really get panicked and they start thinking,
when their kid's hungry and there's nothing to eat.
If you're reassured, if the power's on and the radio's working and the government's like, don't worry, the food's coming 2 days. And you actually, they're able to convince the people and the people believe that is the truth. That's going to kind of calm all the fears and things will slow down a little bit. But if they don't have that reassurance, if they don't know that food is on its way and going to be okay, people get real scared real quick.
That's right.
And kind of have some examples of it, but I don't know. Where do you want to take this?
Well, I was thinking about some of the things that would cause a basic emergency and how quickly, it's kind of amazing how quickly things can wind down, go downhill.
It falls apart pretty quickly.
Yeah. If your power comes from a nuclear or coal plant,
okay,
you got 24 hours before things shut down. If Bob doesn't show up to work that day,
Bob's out.
Bob's out. 24 hours, and they're offline. They're either out of fuel or they've got safety measures that are going to trip them off.
All right.
If you can't get back and forth to work, if nobody's going in to work that day, 24 hours. That's how long your electricity lasts.
Nuclear and coal, you said?
No, nuclear and coal.
Okay.
Now, there's also, say, about once every 4 days, part of the nation's power grid, a system whose failure could leave millions in the dark, is struck by a cyber or physical attack. Every 4 days that's happening. 77% increase. That was USA Today that said that. Tripwire has a quote here saying 77% increase this year in successful cyber attacks on the power system.
That is unbelievable.
Successful power cyber attacks.
Unbelievable.
So, I mean, the shit's just not. It's not like we have this reliable infrastructure that can never be cracked, and there are people trying to crack it. It's not just wear and tear. This is people trying to get to it and shut it down.
They're trying every day, and they're successful every fourth day.
Every fourth day, they're successful.
That's pretty impressive.
So, I mean, these are things that are, the power goes down, and if it's not back within a day, a lot of people are out. All their refrigerator food is gone. All the grocery store, they might have 24-hour generator backup, maybe. Their stuff's all gone. Fuel trucks. What's the situation with that? Let's talk about gas real quick.
Let's talk about gas.
The average gas station has about 12,000 gallons of fuel.
No idea what 12,000 gallons looks like.
Well,
but okay.
it looks like 4 to 6 days per full tank. Once they get filled up, you got 4 to 6 days of regular use.
Okay.
That means no one's running to that. Yeah, nobody's running to. But if the power goes out, those pumps don't work.
That's going to be a problem.
The power's out. This was Hurricane Irene. I think it was 2013, maybe 2015. I was passing people on the street, pulled over on the side of the road. And I'd stop and they'd say, I've got 12 miles left in my tank. He goes, I've gone past 3 gas stations that aren't selling gas. Do you know anybody that's open? I did know somebody that was open. It was more than 12 miles away, though. I have no idea how long some of these people were stuck there.
Yeah. And we're probably, 2 hours from New York City?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we're 2 hours from New York City. And when Irene hit, because of the gas shortages, by the end, I would say, I guess I work about an hour and a half from New York City.
Mm-hmm.
By the third and fourth day, they were starting to, we were seeing people having runs on our gas stations coming from an hour and a half away.
Right.
And to where there were lines around the corner.
Mm-hmm.
And people were starting to charge $5 to $10 a gallon,
and people were paying for it.
People were paying it and happy.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So it turns pretty quick. And that was the thing. That's when you can go down and sell your gas generator for $4,000.
Mm-hmm.
Now, everyone's like, "Oh, you're a jerk. Why would you go rip people off like that?"
Mm-hmm. Hey.
I'm a prepper.
Well, people talk about price gouging like it's this evil thing. But the truth is, if you've got a finite amount of gasoline and you're selling it and you've got 5,000 cars waiting to get that last little bit,
correct,
people aren't going to fill up their entire tank. They're going to take what they need when they got to pay $6 a gallon.
That's the difference. That's the thing. When you have the 24-pack of bottled water and you're charging $20 for it, well, that means that everybody doesn't come and buy every one you have.
Right.
That means they buy what they need. And I don't know. We could debate about this all day. I mean, when the guy's charging
9 times out of 10.
When the guy's charging the $48 for the thing of water and that he can get more and it's like that, then you're just a dick.
Right.
Then you are screwing your neighbors and the people who, they're going to remember that.
Yeah. But there's a finite supply. When there's a finite supply.
When you're causing, people to think a little more clearly, I'm not sure it's wrong. That's a debate for another day. But I think we may have had that debate a while back. But
we might have.
It was probably 90 episodes ago, so who knows?
Yeah. Now, a lot of people think about, these power outages like they're, like they're whatever. Power goes out all the time. It's fine. It's fine. Yeah, and usually they get it right back up. But when it's a massive power outage failure, it doesn't happen, it's not 2 hours. It's not 3 hours.
No.
And a lot of places run dry on fuel in a day or two.
Right.
Gas. The minimum in the United States is 24-hour fuel supply for a generator for the hospitals. That's a hospital.
That's 24 hours. Now, in Florida, that was a day?
Mm-hmm.
At that old folks' home?
Yeah, and they were all dying.
And they were all dying. It's the end.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't have
I feel
proper
like they were killing
ventilation.
those people on purpose.
Yeah,
though.
that's how it played out.
That's what I think.
When you talk about this, like, all right, so we've actually mentioned this one before, but it's a pretty big one, and it's one that you and I were both directly involved in. So that 2003 Northeast power outage,
right?
Or they called it the Northeast blackout.
Mm-hmm.
That was actually from Chicago,
right?
So Northeast, well, really,
yeah, that's pretty far west.
Pretty far west too. So from Chicago all the way New York, New Jersey, and everywhere in between. I don't really know geography. There's other states there, probably Ohio or I don't know, Michigan. I don't know. So anyway, immediately all the sewer pumps in New York City shut off. And New York City dumps 490 million gallons of sewer into the Hudson River. Now you're like, poo in the river, that's always happening. But now let me tell you about, that's the same water they get their drinking water from. Mm-hmm. That's when things start to get hairy.
And a lot of people around here actually get their water from the Hudson River.
Right,
and
but it flows away from here.
We're further north, but when you test the water here in the Hudson River, I think they said 9 out of 100 come back with raw sewage samples in the water. I went swimming in there when I was a kid. I had that water in my mouth. It went from somebody's butt into my mouth. Why did my parents let me swim in that water?
It's just wrong. They were talking about in Cleveland. Immediately, all their water pumps stop working. Mm-hmm. So you're familiar with water treatment plants and that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. You work in these places. So let's assume kind of the best case scenarios. Okay. Mm-hmm. Now, I know that one of the plants you work at has its own reservoir. Mm-hmm. Right, up on a mountain. And so this is kind of an ideal situation. The reservoir is up on a mountain. Right. The people are down below.
2 storage tanks.
All right, 2 big
up
storage
on a hill,
tanks.
A reservoir.
You're up on the hill. So when the power goes out completely and you stop showing up to work.
Yeah, it's
what
got
happens?
less than 2 days.
2 days?
Less than 2 days supply of water.
Right, and that's a good scenario. Mm-hmm. And then that
some places that I go to, if the power goes out, you don't have water. The pumps aren't pressurizing the tanks, and there's no water going through your pipes.
That's what I say, and that's what happened in Cleveland. Mm-hmm. No, none.
Yeah,
done.
Just none. Immediately.
Right? So 2 days, water from the town, it's possible it's going away.
Right.
And actually, there's a pretty good chance.
Right.
There's a lot of places with water towers, different things like that. If something's not pumping it back up there...
Yeah. That's it.
It's it, All right, what happens with sewer?
Sewer just immediately will start running.
Just start kind of overflows right out.
I mean, anybody goes out. Any place that flushes a toilet, it goes to either your own septic tank,
right, better,
or municipal sewer,
right.
And municipal sewer always runs out into
a creek,
the river,
or whatever,
yeah.
right.
Reservoirs.
Man-made creek.
And hypothetically, all that water should be just as clean as rainwater.
Right. Hypothetically, I wouldn't drink it.
But within 2 days, it's just raw sewage.
If you're not chlorinating,
there's
you're
toilet
not doing
paper
nothing.
rolling out there. It's just
So it kind of overflows. Is that what happens?
Yeah,
Like,
immediately.
Immediately, it's just skimming off the top.
less
Maybe
than
a chunk
2
will
days.
settle out on the way through.
Got a few floaters,
You know,
and that's
but,
it.
All right, so we have sewage dumping into the creeks, and it's a lot of the creeks.
Right. And you think, oh, my water stopped running, but there's a river right next to my house.
Right.
I'll just go scoop
go to
some
the
water out
river.
of that, and
Where's
maybe
your local poop plant?
yeah, maybe you should figure out where that water is coming from.
Because a lot of people don't think about that. And you're always like, oh, the river right here. Yeah, that's not when the power's out.
Yep.
It might be if you're
Up in the mountains.
If you're 100 feet from the top of the mountain, and there's a big snow cap right on there right now, melting down, you might be all right. You have a spring that's popping it up, might be all right.
Yeah, I've got a spring in my backyard, and it pops up, and it's all rainbow colored on top. So I don't even trust. You
that
can't
or
even
it's
trust
right
that.
over your septic tank or your leach field. That's not the
Has
spring
nothing to
we're
do with it.
talking about.
Nope,
That's not the
that's
one
not
you
the
want.
one you want to drink out of.
All right, so that's another scenario. So the water goes out, the power goes out. The gas stops. Our power plant shuts down, a nuclear emergency. Now, I'd assume they have some kind of backup power scenario with a nuclear power plant going. I don't know. New York nuclear power kind of does a lot of New York City.
A lot of the problems with that sort of stuff is that they're all balanced on the same grid.
Right.
So one goes down, and it trips out the next one, and it trips out the
and
next
that's
one, and then
supposedly
everybody's
what
down.
happened in 2003. Was that there was one catastrophic failure, and then the rest all collapsed off it.
Right.
Now, 2003, they kind of implied like it was a natural occurrence, but there was a lot of talk that it maybe wasn't a natural occurrence, that possibly Chinese hackers or something like that may have interfered. With you telling me every 4 days is a possibility, then I kind of think, maybe that's more likely.
Right. And a lot of these times we talk about these things like, and you think, well, my gas station or my grocery store is shut down. They're out of food.
Okay.
But I know other places.
Oh, yeah, you can go to 7-Eleven.
You can go to 7-Eleven. You can go to, a lot of places. Even going into Lowe's and things like that, you can find something that they have for sale.
Yeah, those candy bars up at the front.
Yeah, see
I
what
buy
I'm
those.
talking about?
Yeah, see?
Trader Joe's, you think about that sort of stuff, the dollar store, these places. But as one goes, when one's empty, everybody's going to move on to the next place.
Let me tell you about that. Now, this is another way that things happen. So you told me about fuel shortage. We talked about the power going out. Here's another one. Inflation. Now, this isn't going to be 3 days. This is more like a 1 to 3 month kind of scenario.
Right.
But now work with me here. So they have this just-in-time delivery coming to our grocery stores, right? So they're getting a delivery every 3 days. Now, they usually have 2 weeks that they order the stuff before it arrives.
Right.
All right. There's like a little lag time, maybe computers. I don't know. You could tell me, oh no, we order it and then it comes in 3 days and it's 3 days from when I order it. Whatever. It doesn't matter. But they usually have like a 30-day billing cycle.
Right.
All right. And that's just how business is done in America. Right. So 30-day billing cycle. So all of a sudden the dollar drops in value. All right. So now we have inflation and everything is twice as much as it was yesterday. But grocery stores already got that stuff. They already paid for it. It's 30 days out. We're good. No problem. They're going to send in the check based on you buying stuff. Now, here's where it gets hairy. One, you're probably going to have the run on the stores because everybody knows, hey, I should buy it today. Well, it's still $4.
Right.
Because tomorrow it might be $8. And I'd rather have stuff than dollars that aren't worth anything. Well, here's where it gets tricky, though. So you buy all the items in the store. The store is like, all right, I need to buy more replacement items. Well, now the replacement items are a lot more expensive. And here's where it gets hairy. So they have less money from all the customers buying, so they're going to buy less product. Then they have less product to sell. They sell that. And then the next month, stuff's even more expensive. and they have less revenue from the last supply. And they have more dollars, but less revenue relationship to how much it is. And you see how in a very short period of time, it can escalate into where they get, and so then that grocery store closes down. Then you're like, well, wait a minute. We have a government who looks out for us. Now, you guys probably don't know this, but I've actually watched a little bit of the news and listened to talk radio, things like that. And sometimes, now this is rare, the government actually acts in their own self-interest.
That's crazy.
I know. It sounds wild. Instead of acting like they're trying to protect the people. So here's what happens. You get cities like, it's always like Chicago. It's, all these like hardcore socialist cities. Like New Orleans used to be. It got a little better and now it's getting kind of hairy again. But really like socialist heavy cities, right? People start panicking and rioting and getting all crazy. Oh, this isn't right. I need my food. I have food stamps and they're not giving me my food. Oh, it's so unfair. So the government's going to say, whoa, we need to take care of those people because there is a lot of voters there.
Right.
So we're going to say, all right, all you food suppliers, government mandate, you need to bring and resupply these grocery stores in these inner city places. Well, so they say, no problem. They go and do it. And their trucks are getting robbed and they're getting mugged and people are just looting and crazy. And the stores still end up not paying because whatever, they're getting burned down or whatever. And then the food suppliers say, whoa, we're out. We're done. We're not doing nothing for nobody.
I'm not working for free.
And now they're not going to be able to help the rural people or the crazy city people. And it just escalates and it builds into more and more. So it just kind of gets crazier and crazier. And that's how things break down so fast. It just all builds on itself.
Right. Right now in Iran, we've all seen the riots going on TV.
Iran. Oh,
well,
all right, riots.
They've got 21 people dead. 3,700 protesters are in prison now.
That's a lot of protesters.
12% inflation. 12% inflation caused the entire country to go into chaos. That may seem like a lot, but to shut down an entire nation and basically just start putting everybody on the street in prison, it didn't take long.
Take Venezuela to break down.
Not long.
Complete disaster.
I mean, they're still starving to death down there.
Forget about toilet paper.
Yeah.
Toilet paper wasn't even an issue. Nobody was like, damn, I wish I had toilet paper. They were like that like 2 years ago.
Right.
Now they're like, damn, I wish I had
a
dog's leg to eat.
Yeah, exactly. Now it's hard to find a dog in the cities there.
Oh, I wish we had more rats. Because then I wouldn't be so hungry. So, I mean, over the years throughout history, we have China, with their starving population. The whole Ukraine thing and Russia and all that. Everybody looks like you think of the videos from Nazi Germany, where they're all ribs poking out and whatever. People get like that. They're desperate.
Yeah. And it doesn't take long before people like that or the parents of those kids start getting very aggressive. I got to take care of
my baby.
Right.
And then when you're like, wait a minute, I don't have to take care of my baby. I need to eat my baby.
Well, that's when you know you're over the line.
That's going too far.
Yeah. No, there's definitely a few stories of that, though.
But that's the thing. So there's stories, North Korea, China, Ukraine, where, people would resort to cannibalism. So tell me this. If mothers would resort to eating their own babies, what would you do when your babies are that hungry and you're just like, well, you know what? I have guns. I'm going to go take from my neighbor. I don't care. And I don't want it to come to that. You need to take care of yourself.
Right.
But now, did you have any more scenarios? We're good?
One that it's not super urgent, but I came across it and started reading about it and thought it pretty interesting, is trash pickup. When the trash man stops coming along, man, there's been quite a few scenarios with garbage pickup strikes where that stuff stacks up quick. And you need to have a trash. When people are stop coming around making deliveries, when the fuel's short and the trash man's not coming to pick up this week, you need to start thinking about what you're going to do with your trash.
I seem to remember sometimes, I want to say early 80s, with some garbage strikes in New York City, things like that.
Stacked up 20 feet high.
Piling up in the city. It gets ugly quick.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden disease and all this other stuff, because it just gets gross. There's rats everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
This stuff just, escalates and gets, totally out of control. So these are the things that, why you need to think ahead. Now, another thing I wanted to talk to you guys about is maybe not right now, but you need to start developing a plan and maybe a way. But guess what? When things go bad and you're the smart prepper who ordered a year's supply of food or 5 years supply of food or whatever, you need to have a way to hide that food. And I'm not talking about just from your neighbors, because you might be like, well, I have an AR-15.
Yeah.
Or I have 2 AR-15s. Or I have 6 AR-15s. Guess what? When the government comes knocking on your door.
Yeah. However many you have, they got more.
They have more. That's something to be aware of. And FEMA will come. It's legal now for them to come knock on your door and say, oh, we're taking anything over 3 days worth of food. And I'm sure I think that's what the law is now. They can take anything beyond 3 days worth of food, but it doesn't matter. What does a law mean?
Yeah.
This is America right there. They've already violated, the Bill of Rights here, because I feel like that's invading my my quarters there. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
But whatever. They'll come in, they'll take it, and they'll search your house.
Right.
Knocking on
and
doors.
They'll do it.
Government soldiers, American soldiers have already trained, not all of them. I'm not saying this is what they do, but I'm saying the government has had training where, hey, let's go in and search American houses, look for guns, look for food stashes, look for stuff. And this is something you need to think about. Do you have a way to hide and secure this kind of food? Now, like I said, I think you're going to see something like that coming. And I don't mean you're going to see it coming 6 months out. I mean, you're going to see it coming 3 days out. And you might be able to utilize your time and work that out, but you should have a plan.
Yeah, at least an idea of what you're going to do.
You need to, and better yet, if you can do it. If you can stockpile it and hide it out, that's something, and I mean, something you really need to be aware of. Joplin, Missouri, when that tornado hit, same thing. These people were all like totally caught off guard and going for gas, going for food. Puerto Rico still hasn't recovered completely or even halfway at this point. The latest article I read was from December 30th. So it was about 10 days ago from right now. But they're still not even close to back to where they were. There's huge areas that still haven't been restored. That's a long time. That's over 3 months, right?
Right.
That's a big deal. 3 months without normal food, electricity, and clean water. Is that something you want for your family? And
is that something you're prepared for your family?
Well, I mean, these people didn't have a choice.
Right.
So what I'm saying is you need to start, thinking ahead. And it seems very unlikely that there isn't going to be some issue in America, especially, the more the world goes. And I say America.
It could happen any place.
I guess.
Yeah, it could happen anywhere.
Somehow in our minds we build up this America's the land of milk and honey kind of thing. We think, oh, well, it could happen other places, but in America it never could.
Yeah.
So when I say it could happen in America, I already thought it was a given. It was going to happen everywhere else, But that's where I'm coming from. You guys need to be aware that these are possibilities and just realize how fast the dominoes can fall, how quickly things can break down. And it can really get rough out there.
Yeah. So I think it's really important that, we all be conscientious of that, that 3 day limit that 3 days is when things start tipping. That 3 days is when, is when shit gets dangerous and people start doing stupid things.
Now, I was reading one of the prepper books, and I'm doing prepper books all the time. I don't know. But guy talks about, and they mention this 9 Meals to Anarchy, and it's what got me kind of thinking about it and putting this stuff together. But the guy's like, oh, it just seems so ridiculous to me. The guy has like $70,000 in preps. And I'm the guy who doesn't like to look at the numbers because it might just upset me if I realize how much money I've spent on, my bug out bag or my guns or my survival food or whatever. So I don't really know numbers, but I'm like, oh, that guy's an idiot. 70 grand. What the hell, I don't know. I probably spent that much. Who knows? Yeah, I have no idea.
Probably spent double that.
I try not to think about it. I block the bad, right? So, but bad scenarios happen, and just more and more just keeps happening, and he keeps waiting and waiting. Oh, well, we'll go tomorrow. Oh, we'll leave tomorrow. And I'm like, you went to all the trouble to buy $70,000 worth of food. You have it in a trailer. You bought a bug out location. You can't wait. As soon as you see things starting to fall apart, you need to be ready to act. You need to get where you're going to go. Because you do not want to travel after, things start to go bad.
Right.
And I'm telling you, every day you wait, it's going to get rougher and rougher. And, 9 meals is 3 days. But you're not even going to have 3 days before things get really hairy. That's before they're knocking on your door but you don't want to be out in town at day 2. You don't want to be at the grocery store when there's nothing there and people are starting to look. You need to travel and get where you're going now because people will knife you for gas. People will just come up and shoot you in your car to stick a knife in your gas tank and, let the gas drain in their bucket so they can put it in their car and get their family to where they need to go. It turns that fast. You need to have a plan. And you need to execute it as soon as things look bad. And you know what? I don't want to miss work tomorrow if I'm wrong and things don't go, the way I see it. Well, you know what? It's better to miss a day of work and be alive. All your preps don't mean anything if you can't get to where you're going or, where your supplies are or take your supplies with you to the right location. If you live in the city and you're like, oh, I just have to get out, you need to do it.
Yeah.
At the first sign. You really have to pay attention and be aware.
Yeah.
But that's what I got.
All right. That sounds good.
Now, do you have any like upkeep, some kind of notes, any people we need to mention or anything going on in the world?
Yeah. Well, I was looking at this. I was getting into the Iran riots over there.
Yes.
And found something amazing.
Tell me.
The rich kids of Tehran.
Tell me about the rich kids.
You need to go on their Instagram.
They have their own Instagram.
And, yes. And they've got a Twitter.
I always think that only Americans have Instagram.
Oh, no. This is great.
People.
So, all these people are starving to death. No food. There's no food. There's no work. Something like 40% unemployment right now for the, people under 25. Nothing's going on. But these guys still posting pictures, selfies in front of sports cars. Great stuff. And here's one of the recent Instagrams. If you're politically frustrated, exit the area like a fart. Fantastic. This is these are true wordsmiths. So just so you know, no matter what happens, no matter how shitty things get,
the rich kids of Tehran,
there will still be rich people out there laughing their asses off.
Till you find their house.
Yeah, well, it's. I don't think it's going to end well for them if they get caught out in town with their their Ferrari breaking down.
You want to take the Ferrari?
So,
all right. Now, I will say, we do appreciate you guys on Patreon.
Yep, we've got Facebook or email.
Okay.
From Adam Glazer.
Okay, what's Adam got to say?
Adam's emailed a PDF of his preps,
all right.
his checklist.
All right.
telling you, I'm bugging out to his house now.
Yeah, he's the guy.
Yeah, he's the one. It's pretty good, man. Pretty
I
impressive.
gotta say, having a nice inventory, a stockpile.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's really key to rotate your stuff, kind of check, make sure it's dry. And I know, I got the 50 rolls of toilet paper up in the attic, but the damn birds keep getting in the attic. They pull
Making
out
nests.
Ugh. And so far, the toilet paper is safe.
Okay.
But once a month, I got to go up there and be like, hey, is the poo paper all right? Are we good?
Yeah, you got to check it.
Because I don't want to go when I need my supplies.
I mean, it's really a big deal is the supplies that you do have is maintaining them. Really magic marker on the top of them, write the dates big and clear, and just rotate your stock out. Yep.
Again. It just, even things like toilet paper that lasts forever. It does. But you know what? If I'm going to crack one downstairs for everybody, what's the difference if I put a fresh one up there and just check it out?
Yeah.
Rotate things through a little bit as you use them. And again, you should be prepping and stockpiling things that you're using.
Right.
Now, I'm okay with the long-term freeze-dried 25 years, but you should have a lot of the regular day-to-day. You know, those bags of rice or whatever. Mm-hmm. And, I just bring the stuff over to Kevin when I feel like it's expired or whatever. I'm like, it's not good for my family.
I got an iron stomach, man.
Kevin will burn through it. So, just find your own Kevin is what I would say. Find the poor family in the church. Be like,
there you go. Yep.
You know that 3-year-old coffee? It's not really good for my family, but for your family.
Your family.
It's looking pretty good.
For Kevin's family. I'll take all of your 3-year-old coffee.
There you go. So,
I'll sift through it, make sure there aren't any worms or anything in there, and I'm good.
No bugs. And I mean, I'm not saying there are no worms. I'm saying you look and no worms. And then,
you filter through. You check them, check each thing. There you go.
All right. But with that,
worms
I think we're good. So you guys know you can email us at preppingbadass@gmail.com.
That's right.
We love your support on Patreon.
Mm-hmm.
Put a link in the show notes there. And
now we've got a little bit of an increase in listeners lately, huh?
We have had a little bump. I'm hoping it's because we got on Spotify, or maybe I'm even happier if you guys are just telling your friends about it. But we love when you leave us a review on the iTunes. Update your friends. Be like, hey, check out this great podcast. It's a great way to introduce your friends into prepping, and that way. Because guess what? If they're prepared, they're not coming over to mooch off your stuff.
That's right.
The more people who are prepared, the better off everything's going to be. And then you'll have somebody to trade your guns with. Because my experience is I buy a cool gun, and then I'm like, that one I bought last year is just crap.
So I
just want to dump it on somebody. And then, so you build that prepper network.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, your own little gun trader thing happening. All right.
Yep.
So with that, stay safe, and we'll talk to you guys next week.
Planning a fishing trip shouldn't feel like a full-time job. With fishingbooker.com, you can find and book the perfect fishing trip within minutes. Fishingbooker.com connects you with trusted fishing captains around the world. Booking is fast, easy, and secure, with access to verified customer reviews, loyalty rewards, and around-the-clock customer support. Everything you need to book with confidence is in one place. So head to fishingbooker.com and start planning your next fishing adventure today.